down from the heavens bearing the gift. It's Jometheus.
And it's time for another. Time to draw some Toradora fan art. Alright, so we're gonna jump right back into it, where we started before. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. I was thinking, what did I want to do last time? Oh yeah, so I was thinking about it because I was looking at this a little bit earlier. And I feel like her hair, it's like it looks okay, but it kind of sweeps over to one side, whereas if you look at her character model, hold on, let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, you look at her character model, it kind of like, it's pretty big, it comes down more in the middle, more between her eyes. I also was thinking I might want to make her eyes a little bit closer together, although, let me just see how it looks with the hair in the middle, and maybe that'll just fix the whole thing. So let's give that a shot. Let's fix that up. And then fix it with the colors. There we go, my eyedropper. Fix that up with, what was I using before this? That feels right. Everybody in the comments is like, no Joe, that was not what you were using, you idiot. It's okay, it doesn't matter too much. Alright, did I have anything else I needed to fix that I wanted to address? Yes? No? No? No. Okay, so what we're gonna do now then, we're gonna go another layer. We're gonna start kind of fine-tuning everything. Let's take our color from here, from the character model sheet, and we're gonna start just kind of going in and let's see, how's that? That's about good. Alright, we're gonna go in, we're gonna kind of outline everything. Make sure everything has very rigid, very solid line work. And feels well put together. Alright, I might just color this whole thing in actually. Well, first, I gotta contain myself. Make sure that it is properly lined in, and then I can go back in and color the whole thing in solid. Because, like I was saying in the last one, I think because of the, might just be because of how old the image is, I'm not even sure, but it came out kind of muted, faded, didn't look quite as strong. So we just want to make the color a little bit more vibrant, and also strengthen up those outer lines to make the whole thing look more solid. What was I talking about last time? I remember I ended up, one of the last things I was saying, because I was checking out the end of that video like yesterday or something, just to remind myself where I was going to end up talking in this one. Let's see if I can remember. I wanted to talk about, this show has this overarching theme where it talks about how important it is, or just this recurring motif, I think you might say, sound like that kid. Have you ever had a dream that you would? There's this overarching theme of how important it is to tell the truth, about honesty, about how important it is to be honest, not just with other people, but being honest with yourself. There's a theme about how the consequences if you're not that way, if you keep things from people, if you try and hide your feelings or your motivations, and how it can kind of come back to bite you. And it's kind of a little bit of a mixed bag, because it's like, if they hadn't done any of that, then like Taiga and Ryuji probably never would have ended up together. But at the same time, it also causes a lot of the turmoil and strife in the show. I mean, Noreen probably would never have had the same ending that she had if she was more honest with Ryuji in the first place, or honest with Taiga, honest with Ryuji, because from what she said, she had been liking Ryuji from the very beginning, and then the only reason that she stopped kind of pursuing it was because she saw that Taiga liked him. But that was very, very early on in the series that she made that deduction. If she had told him before that, then the whole events of the show wouldn't have really unfurled. And I'm not saying I'm placing the blame on her or anything. I'm just saying it's one of those things where it's like, if she had said this early on, then things would have been completely different. Let's go a little bit darker. This is just how I do it. I'm going to make that line a little bit thinner. You can kind of say that about every conflict in the show. Kitamura, if he had been honest with the girl from student council from the beginning, then he probably never would have ended up, or maybe he still would have ended up in student council, but he would never have had his like teen crisis. If Ryuji and Taiga had not tried to, or if they had not tried to sneak around and concealing what they were trying to do, then people probably wouldn't have assumed that they were together and kind of pushed them together by the end. You can kind of even extrapolate that to some of the sadder places where, like the arc with Taiga's father and him coming back into their lives, like if he had been honest about the fact that he didn't really care and that he was kind of a piece of shit and just was looking for appearances in the first place, then Taiga never would have gotten hurt by him trying to come back into their life, or back into her life. They never would have had the conflict in one of the near to the last episodes. It's funny. I've talked about so many things about the show. I never talked about this in particular. Near the end of the show, there's been this thing going on where Ryuji has been being asked by the school what he wants to do with his life. He doesn't want to go to college because his mom, he feels that she works too much. I did briefly mention this part, but he feels like she works too much. He doesn't want her to have to work for the rest of her life, and so he's kind of willing to give up his own kind of freedom or personal time, or sacrifices his own time, so that she might be able to rest for her later years. And his mom disagrees with that completely. She figures, I want you to do what's best for you with your life and not what's best for me. Like, I lived my life. I made the choices that I did. I don't want you to make your choices based on me. But Ryuji, being the selfless guy that he is, he refuses to accept that. Like, he wants to go in, and he goes and gets a job to help pay bills, or he works the job that his mom wasn't able to because she was too tired to work, and she like kind of collapsed. And he tells his mom that she got fired from the job so that she won't do it anymore, when in reality he's just been going and doing it for her so that she doesn't have to work. She finds out about it, and it's kind of one of the worst possible moments. It's like Taiga's mom shows up and wants to bring her back home to live with them. Again, as another fake show of acting like you care, or really, I think it's more about control than anything. But yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. But that happens at the same time. This is right after they've kind of confessed their feelings. This is right after they think that everything's kind of going to be okay because they've been talking to each other and figuring everything out. And then this shit happens where, Taiga's mom comes in and is kind of going to throw a wrench in that, and Ryuji's mom is angry and wants him to face choices and move and go to college and do better for his life than she did, than his father did. And so there's this crazy act or there's this crazy situation where they just want to be together, and they're in a situation where they might not be able to. So they end up running away together, and they're going to elope. Now, obviously, that doesn't end up happening. Well, not obviously, I guess. But it doesn't end up happening. By the end, they kind of come to their senses. They realize that, they've got a lot more growing to do, and they've got a lot more life to live, rather than kind of make the same mistakes that Ryuji's parents made and just run off and forget everything else, forget about your future and all that sort of thing. I forget why I brought that up in the first place. I'm trying to remember my train of thought to how I got there. And I do not remember. It's because there's this overarching theme of honesty, and if Ryuji had been honest with his mom about his intentions, or I guess he kind of was. He had told her that he wanted to do this, and she just kind of refused. But if he had been more persistent and just kind of been honest about how he felt about things, and they could have maybe come to an agreement about it or talked it through more. But because he wanted to keep things from her, they almost went off together, and while they might have been happy together, they probably wouldn't have been as happy with their quality of life, because they were throwing everything away just to be together. What's next? I wanted to fix the eyes, because I'm not crazy about the way that they look. I'm thinking of, let's see, I think I definitely need to make the pupils bigger. Because Taiga is very, very pupil-centric. Let's do this here. So let me make a new layer and hide that for a second, just so we see the pupil. and then we can fix this underneath it. Actually, let's pick up our eye color from here. I feel like that's already looking kind of better. I know my style doesn't really fit exactly with it. I'm trying to stay true to the design while also staying true to my own art style, but it's kind of proven a little bit difficult to make a balance there. They're looking a little lumpy. Here. I don't think that I need the sketch for that anymore, so I'm going to get rid of this. Actually, I don't think that the sketch is affecting it too much. Now let me leave that, but I'll go back in, kind of round out the edges a little bit, because they're looking a little lumpy and a little less than natural. Although I do want them to be big, so let's go around and let's just round that out a little bit. Honesty's the thing that you gotta have. Honesty's the thing that you gotta do. Honesty's the thing that you gotta be. Honesty. Woo woo woo. Alright, let's blend this together some more. Blend it together some more. Don't worry, I'm gonna add the pink a little bit. I feel like it's kind of replacing too much and it's not really blending as much as I'd like. Let's go a little bit in there. That way you can kind of get, yeah, there we go. There we go. We got some color contrast on the way up. There's a lot going on in that eye. There's kind of purple undertones, and then fading into red or brown. All right, let's go one more layer in between. That way I can kind of rest on top with that ring around. And I think I might be able to even go bigger. Maybe, hold on, where is this layer? Right there. That's looking pretty tiger-like. Alright, so maybe even thin this out just a bit more. Just so you just have the line around. Alright, and then kind of want to have a little bit more color at the top. Let's define the shape of these eyes some more. So what we'll do is we'll take this, we'll go around the edges of where we want the eye. Clean it up like that. this is where we can start kind of erasing around here, because it's just going to kind of get confusing if we're not having that around. If we are having that around, I should say. And then we can kind of make it a little bit more defined. And let's see, this is how I usually will go about white, just to make it a little bit darker. We'll go this for the inside of the eye, so it's still, you can tell that it's the eyeball, but it kind of is the inner lid a little bit, if that makes sense. And that way we can kind of have a more defined shape with it. And then we can fix up our lashes here around the edges, kind of make them a bit more refined. I think it's a little bit more angular actually, so we'll go like that, go like that, and there we go. That looks pretty good. And we'll go up here with the eyebrows, or the eyelashes. I said brows again. I should have done this on another layer, but it's okay. We can still work it out. We'll do that because we just want to refine the shape of it a little bit. Refine the shape of her eye. Go a little thicker on top. Maybe even do a little less on the underneath here. Straighten that out a little. That's looking pretty good. Alright, and then we can take another layer on top of that and add our highlight. How does her eyes highlight? There's just one, seem to be like one dot. Yeah, maybe a little bit down. Go like one dot up here and a little bit of a line down here. Yeah, looking pretty good. Alright, and then we'll go for the other one. And we'll do the same process. I might speed it up just so you can maybe not have to sit through the whole same thing again. Made a mistake, but it's nothing we can't fix. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then we can merge that down so they're on the same layer now. Easy peasy. Beautiful cover girl. Alright. We'll do the same thing with our rings. Doing it a little bit in a different order this time, but still the same sort of principle. Still the same sort of principle. I'm gonna fix up. Oh, well. I'm gonna come back to it in a second because the eyes are a little bit muddy. Let me just kind of fix up what's in there. And we're trying to go mostly symmetrical. I kind of like that orange, so well, I'm kind of getting it with this, am I not? No, I guess not. So I'll do that. Yeah, I'll leave it kind of orange around here, and then I'll leave it kind of this color around here. And let me fix up the edges of it, make the eye look a little bit more defined. This one's not quite as jagged as the other one, but still a little bit. And fix up the edge of the eye over here. Alright, let's fix our rings, because they don't need them to be too big. Don't really want them to be too big. Just kind of want them to ring the iris, or kind of create a little bit of a halo. Angel tiger. A little bit of a halo around. Not there. Not there. Do it here. This one might be quicker than the other ones, as I'm probably going to be skipping a lot. Or maybe it'll just be more silent, I don't know. I don't know, what do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer it when I'm talking a little bit more? Do you prefer it when I'm shutting up and just drawing a little bit more? Let me know. I feel like, here, let me just get rid of the littlest bit right there. Littlest bit right there. I don't know what's going on right here. Is that part of the... Oh yeah, it's just part of the sketch, so that'll be gone. And you can go in, clean this up, clean it up. And do the same thing down here. Just open it up a little bit and clean it up. This, and I'm not done with the hair or anything yet. I'm just kind of fixing up the shape on everything. Yeah, too much shine. I feel like I can kind of bring that up a little bit here. And could talk about episodes. Now, first episode. I talked about it a little bit. Some of this is gonna be a little bit of a recap. But first episode, Ryuji goes to school. Everybody thinks he's a jerk. Runs into Taiga, punches him in the face. She puts a love note in his. She puts a love note into his backpack. He's like, "What?" She's like, "I'll kill you." He's like, "No, I go home." She shows up, tries to kill him. I'm not gonna do that. I feel like I've kind of already said what I need to say about that a handful of times. I don't think I need to go into it again. Alright, so let's line the outline a little bit here, so we can kind of draw some boundaries, figure out what we're doing. Is it that round? Is it that? Is it shorter than that? Is it? What are we doing here? That's pretty small already. Let me see if I can. Boop. Boop. Let's see if that looks any good. Kinda. Looks okay. We can blend it in more. Does it make sense for her hair to stick out like that? I think I need to fix that. I'm thinking that might be a logic thing. We're running short on time already. Oh, not so much actually. I don't think, because I haven't been talking as much. I don't think I've been kind of more focusing on the actual drawing aspect of it, so I probably gotta speed through some of it. Alright, what? Give her eyebrows. What color are eyebrows? Do her eyebrows have color? Or are they just black? No, they have color. They're like the same sort of deal as her hair. So let's give her some eyebrows. Let's give her some eyebrows. Wham. Oh, a little too much. Wham. Wham. Bam. Wham. Bam. Bam. Yeah, it's kind of good. It looks a little weird right now. It's starting to come together, but it's still a little choppy. I really was thinking maybe we could get this knocked out in this episode, but we're running up to our time limit on what I have to record this. And it's certainly looking better. It's not quite finished yet. I do take a lot of time on eyes. I will say that. I take a lot of time when I draw eyes, just because I feel like they're one of the most important parts for when you're drawing a character is the eyes. You know what? Let's at least try and get her face defined fully before we leave for today. I'll try and make sure I have more to talk about next time we have an episode. I'm sorry guys, I fell a little short. I was thinking that I could somehow make the video speak for itself, but I don't know why I thought that, because that's dumb. It never works out that way. I don't get it. It feels like it doesn't blend. Like, I like when my brushes will blend, but this does not feel like it is blending for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. It's bothering me. It's bugging me. It's bugging me quite a bit. I'm going to try and figure out why it is that these aren't blending. Because they should be. And maybe next episode we can kind of wake with it. Wake with it. Make it wake. Make it wake. Oh, that hair is out in front. Blend it a little bit. Kind of a happy medium. She's a little too dark, I think. Soften that up a little bit, make it a little bit more subtle. Round that out a little bit so it doesn't look so rough. You want it to look like a shadow, or like a, like some shading. You want it to look like shading, not like something weird like spaghetti sauce on the face or something. I think this area, you know what? I think this area, because it's actually under the hair, you can probably make it a little bit darker. And even on the eye, we got that blue. Let's make it a deeper blue. This blue and gray are very similar sort of places where you would use it. How's that look? The neck's pretty good, and that way it kind of looks like her hair fades behind her hair a little bit. Okay. Man. Let's go real dark. Let's define that line. make this a layer over as the outline. Yeah, the hair's getting in the way. I love all that hair, Tiger, but it's getting in the way. Getting in the way a little bit. Oh, I know what's going on. I know why this is looking sort of weird like that. Because I never cleaned this up. Let's clean it up a little bit. Keep it inside the lines. It won't look quite as messy. Look a little bit neater. A little bit more polished. The edges, do it around here. Or maybe that's from the way back. And around here. Let's start adding some more depth to her hair. We got this. We can add. We can add like the mid-tone, or like no, we can add like the highlight. I see. Yeah. You want it kind of be shiny, so we'll kind of add that as kind of a thing around here. And that kind of adds kind of a general shiny roundness to it. Like it all feels round and smooth as one thing. It looks like they do it one more time down here. And yeah, you can see definitely where it's patchier down here. Got to do some work on that. Yeah, I'm stretching the video over a little over how long I normally do it, just because I know I'm going to cut some stuff out and it might run a little longer, but also because I want there to be some progress made. Like I want there to be some clear progress made. It's got a little yellow for it. Add some like yellow tones to it for brightness. What I like to do for my hair when I draw it, it takes a little bit longer, but I like to kind of even add more depth to the color by adding more highlights, kind of in the same range, but also I just feel like it gives it a little bit more vibrancy, and I don't know, it might be a detriment to my style, but I just like how it looks, so I like to do it that way. And let's add some low lights, some shadows to it as well. Undertones, whatever the hell you want to call them. What just happened? Oh, the layer disappeared? Alright, let's figure this out. Go a little darker. And maybe not quite that dark. Let's go maybe just around here. And we'll touch up the color on here, and you see how much depth that adds. Yeah. Her hair is like a whole kind of spectrum of color now. We'll add the shadow under there, add some more depth to it. Yeah, that's starting to come together. Gotta fix up her face a little bit more too, though. Do do do. A do 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 do. Do 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 do. If I don't have enough to say, I might. Maybe I'll just end up saying like adding more dialogue and voiceover. I'll probably end up just doing that. Like speed up the process a little bit and talk some more in voiceover, because I, for some reason, have not been feeling too much to say in the moment. Which is okay. It's just one of those days. One of those days. Have you ever had one of those days? What was that? Hotel Mario? You too, poop. Where there's smoke, they pinch back. Old stuff. I made those on my old account when I was a kid. They were not very good. There's one of them, I'm surprised it hasn't gotten a copyright strike yet. It had like a full song in it. I won't be giving out my information so that you can go and find it. But I will say it was Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. And I used almost the entirety of the song Chop Suey by System of a Down. Just the whole thing's in there. Not even really much of a joke. It's just the song. I'm trying to line it up with the thing. I have an idea. I think I know what might make it a little bit more Let's open this up again to start. Open it up again over here. And this has got to be darker. I think that she has shiny cheeks. Is that what it is? That blushy cheeks? Let's go for a little bit of both. Maybe because she doesn't... Well, no, because she's got those kind of pink. Here. Let's fix it up with some official colors. And I really gotta end this soon. Yeah, let's fix it up a little bit. Like there's some shadow under there. Overhangs her head a little bit more. Which does help. It makes her hair look that much bigger. Than it already does. Yeah, that does kind of look good. That's kind of... Yeah. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, I think it's just her face was looking kind of flat, so let's go in so it's nothing permanent. We can start adding some color to her cheeks. Let's go. Maybe make the opacity not as bright. That way we can just kind of... that, and maybe not even go quite as strong as that. Gonna make it more subtle. And they have that kind of shine on top, so give her that shine too. And maybe it is just that. Yeah, it doesn't gotta be too much. Just make it a little subtle. I feel like, though, is that what it is? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. There's something that's feeling like... Her mouth might just be too high up. Let's fix that. Let's try that. Let's move that down. Let's move... What layer was that on? Face? It was on the face. Does that look weird? I I look weird. I think it's just that her face might be a little too shapeless, so let me put her mouth back. Rethink this a little bit. And then this is approaching an hour, so let's finish this up. Wham, 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 wham. Wham, 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 wham. There we go. I feel like that makes a load of difference. Just in giving her face some shape so it's not just completely straight. Or completely round, I should say. That's probably a good place to leave off for today. It definitely makes some good progress. Yeah, and we'll come back to this next week. Oh, get this worked on and ready to go. Thanks for joining me again. And until next time, stay safe, stay cute, and remember, I love you. Bye.